If you haven't heard already, the UK is fully on tilt. It is pure chaos. It is in absolute turmoil.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Now, you might be listening to me and shrug your shoulders and think, I know that. I know how to read. I read that the UK is now at a 4-decade high level of inflation at 10.1%, or maybe you read that their currency, such as sterling or even the euro, is plummeting and so are their bonds, and it's to such an extent that even their bond system and the safety of it came into question. Well, now the cherry on top is that the Prime Minister, Ms. Liz Truss, has officially resigned. After 44 days on the job, she said, no more, no way, no how. In fact, it actually came so expediently that a head of lettuce ended up beating her out. But I'll explain that in just a second. But overall, in this video, we're going to be breaking down her statements on all of it, and they were brief, and then some of the other pertinent details that I think are just really kind of representative of not only the geopolitical chaos in the UK, but also Europe and also globally. So if you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to hit the like button, helps out with the algorithm, and don't forget to join up with the Moon Gang by hitting the subscribe button. And now that we got all that out of the way, let's see what's going on with this head of lettuce. Looks like Liz Truss is about to resign, and here we go.
I came into office at a time of great economic and international instability. Families and businesses were worried about how to pay their bills. Putin's illegal war in Ukraine threatens the security of our whole continent, and our country has been held back for too long by low economic growth. I was elected by the Conservative Party with a mandate to change this. We delivered on energy bills and on cutting national insurance. And we set out a vision for a low-tax, high-growth economy that would take advantage of the freedoms of Brexit. I recognise, though, given the situation, I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected by the Conservative Party. I have therefore spoken to His Majesty the King to notify him that I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party. This morning I met the chairman of the 1922 committee, Sir Graham Brady. We've agreed that there will be a leadership election to be completed within the next week. This will ensure that we remain on a path to deliver our fiscal plans and maintain our country's economic stability and national security. I will remain as Prime Minister until a successor has been chosen. Thank you.
Wow. She's about 6 to 7 weeks in. Donezo. And it makes sense because it is very much on tilt. I mean, before this came out, UK Prime Minister Liz Truss resigns after failed budget and market turmoil. Britain's political scene is in absolute chaos. Right at the worst possible time, here's what you need to know. Wow. I mean, we've been kind of covering the insanity of, she's already on to her second Minister of Finance, and they were kind of doing quantitative tightening to help battle inflation, which just came out a 4-decade high. And then they were doing some tax cuts, and then the Bank of England was stepping in. So it kind of seemed like they were doing a little bit of quantitative easing in the world of their guilt. And now it is pure chaos. This is it. We were watching the videos of I assume their parliament fighting back and forth, which it seems like they were one harsh sentence away from throwing fists. And we see this, and people have been calling for it for weeks now. And it truly is representative of just the chaos that's going on in Britain, I guess really the UK, and almost on a global scale. We're watching these videos of people protesting in Paris, and Eurozone just yesterday reported a new inflation of 9.9. The UK is coming in at 10.1. In the US, we're at 8.2. We should be at 2%, folks. 2%. So it's a sad thing that not necessarily for her. I've never met her. I don't really particularly follow her politics. I have the US politics to worry about. I'm speaking from a global perspective that the tensions are at this heightened of a level where this type of stuff is happening. This is an absolute disgrace. I think it's in shambles and a disgrace. It's utterly appalling. I think we're in for some pretty tough times. I'm a fighter, not a quitter. Well, I think this was stated yesterday, and she literally just quit, so not the best timing there. Man. Well, that's some breaking news for you. The UK Prime Minister Liz Truss, about 6 to 7 weeks on the job, going the way of her Ministry of Finance, who was just let go last week. Dunzo, and I guess there's no, at this point in time, at least as I'm filming this, there's no announcement of who the replacement's going to be, but talk about being in shambles. Embattled UK Prime Minister Liz Truss holds crunch talks as political crisis escalates. Wow. Key government meetings have also reportedly been canceled on Thursday, so it seems like everyone just knew it was a matter of time. Well, let's quickly check in and see what's going on. We know that the USD Japanese yen highest level since 1990. Let's see what's going on with sterling USD, because this is going to be going nutty right now. Let's see what's happening over the past couple of minutes. Ripping on the news. So it sounds like there's, I guess, renewed faith in sterling in the British pound. Let's see what's going on with the Euro USD. Also popping on the news. As a very quick side note, for those of you who maybe don't know, there was a live stream, a picture of Liz Truss and then the head of lettuce, and they were streaming it for days and days and days now. And the whole concept was who will win, Liz Truss or lettuce. And officially, lettuce is the winner. Lettuce 1, Liz Truss 0, calls on lettuce, 0 DTE calls on lettuce. That is the big play of the day. Not financial advice, but I think we all know that it is. That's where we're at in real time. Obviously, I would love to know your thoughts on it, because this truly is kind of a historic moment that we're seeing play out in Europe, Britain, Bank of England, all of that. And it will obviously have global, I guess, reverberations as these ripples go out. So it'll be very interesting to see in the short term over the next couple days, next couple weeks, of what is going on the global scale, as we're literally witnessing kind of a shift in power, at least new hands on the reign of power with our allies across the pond there in Europe.